Welcome back, my friends. I am here today to play with the Spellbinders Glimmer of the Month for October 2024. This month for October, we are given a half plate, is what I call it. This plate is intended to be used to create a full background. So I thought we would go ahead and do that together. It's quite simple. It does show you the instructions on the packaging, but I just thought we would do it together on film, just in case anyone struggles with this. So I like to do this by using a larger sheet of paper to start with. To me, it just makes it a little easier. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and turn this around this way. It just makes it a little easier for me if I have the larger sheet, because then I can always cut it back down if something isn't quite right. So while that timer's heating up, I'll just go over what Copic markers I pulled out today. I just got a random selection of markers that are kind of the color of Christmas lights, just brights for the Christmas lights. I got R27 and 29, YR07 and 09, B04 and 06, G03 and 09, and Y06 and 08. They're just random two-tone colors. Nothing fancy here. These are just going to be pretty much solid colors. I got them all pretty close in color number, because I just want to do a quick coloring here. I'm not going to do any crazy shading or anything, because we just want a simple background. That's all I'm going for. Okay, our timer is solid. Let me go ahead and grab the gold foil. While I'm at it, I'll go ahead and cut myself two. Hopefully those were about right. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and undock this. You always put the shiny side of your foil towards the shiny side of your plate. Oh, I didn't get a big enough piece. Let's see. Okay. I'm probably going to cut this off down here, so I'm going to go ahead and leave that like that. And then you put the silver side towards your paper. And then your plates. Okay. And run it through your Platinum 6. When you get to the foiling part, go a little slower, because you want that time to adhere. And then plug your plate back in. Your platform back in, I should say. Okay, and this should give us our first reveal. Okay, so there's our first foiling. I am using hammer mill paper for this, for anyone that is curious. Now, I am going to go ahead and remove this plate from my platform here and let it cool off a little bit. I'm doing that because I'm going to use the Hinge method to do my other plate. So while this is all heating up, I'm letting this cool down. And this is just the easier way I find to do this, because what we want to do is we want to flip this plate over, and it is created to come in here and in here and in here like that, so that it does a continuous light without there being a big gap in here. So to get that perfectly straight and correct, I want to use this plate taped to my actual paper. You see this here? You see how when I turn this over, this loop is going to come in here, whereas this little bulb is going to pop in here, You see that? This bulb here is going to pop in here. This loop is going to pop in here. This loop is going to pop in here. They're all going to fit nestled down in there. So I'm going to come this way, and you have to visualize here. You're going to have to visualize because you're going to have to bring this down. And yeah, it's a risk. It's a risk because you could overlap them. So you want to kind of look there and feel how close this is to the edge. That is pretty close to the edge here. So you don't want to go super close. So let's go right about there, I think. We're about right there. I might not get it perfect right now, but we shall see. Okay, so we got our hinge. We've checked. It looks really good. Now, you fold your hinge back, and you're going to put your foil, and make sure you can see this. You want to put your foil right in here. And remember, shiny side of foil, shiny side of plate. So remember that. I'm going to slide this up just a little bit to make sure we get the ends of those light bulbs. Yeah. Even if I don't get along here, I just want to make sure I'm getting here. Okay? So I'm going to turn that over because remember, you want your metal to your glimmer. And that one there. And that one there. I'm going to let that heat up a little bit. Okay, so now I'm going to dislodge this, and I'm going to run it through my Platinum 6. I may have done that a little quick. Let's check it and see. Whoops. Whoops, whoops, whoops. There we go. And there we go. We got our whole plate of baubles. Isn't that cool? So now you have your whole entire background. Now you can cut that down to any size you want it. So let me turn this off. Okay, here's my piece all cut down. So now we will just take our markers and we will do some quick coloring. Okay, so you can just pick these at random and just go in here and fill your baubles in. And you can use any medium for this. You could use your watercolors, you could use pencils, whatever kind of medium that you're after. I'm just personally using Copics. Now you do have to be careful with Copics and coloring onto your hot foil, because it can, especially with this red, you can actually color your foil. So you do want to try to be careful. Okay, so we'll just pick a few at random here and do some red. That's the dark. Do the light. And I go almost to the tip. Come in with the dark. Darken this up here. About halfway. Then take it where the dark ended and pull it all the way to the tip. That makes the middle medium because it's gone over the light. And it makes the tip the lightest because it didn't have any color underneath it to start with. That's my train of thought here. And I'm doing these no rhyme, no reason. I'm just picking a handful. Okay, let's see. We'll go over, maybe do this one. Do about 3/4. Do a little bit of the dark about halfway. Drag that dark into that medium or light and pull the light all the way to the tip. Oh. And then maybe we'll do this one down here. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I did not count ahead of time to see how many actual baubles there were. So I'm just going with it. Okay, we'll start some orange, do the same exact thing. Just pick one and do the same thing with your light marker until you have all of them colored. Okay, I'm down to just a few left, and I'm just going to pick and choose like a color that's not close. So we'll do a yellow here. And there is going to be a sentiment across the center middle here. So I'm not going to really worry about this bar area right here, because I do notice that this one is going to get a little stranded there. I'll show you what I mean here in a second. You see here how there's a yellow, an orange, a blue, a red, a green. All of our colors are there around this one. But my sentiment is going to go right across here. So this one isn't even going to show. So I'm not really worried about that one. Here we could do this one orange, and actually this one can be orange too. So let's do both of those real quick. That way if they peek out from under the sentiment, it will be okay. I didn't want to keep you here all day, which is the reason I morphed you to the end here, so the video wouldn't be a half hour longer. Whoops. That is the darker one. Not paying attention. That is okay. We are not being super precise here, so there we go. All right. Get the lids on these, and we are good to go. That one that is not colored, I believe, will be completely covered in the final project. Let me pull out my card base here, and I'll show you what I have planned. This is a scrap that I have cut a whole bunch of things out of in the middle, but we're going to use it as a layer. And then we're going to put this right here. So let me do that real quick with my Sweet Petunia glue press, my very bestest friend in the craft room. Love this thing. Makes my life so much easier. I'm gonna layer that right there. And then we will also layer this right on top of my gold covered card base. Okay. The gold base is a little bit bigger, or the gold layer is a little bit bigger than this. So you see I have just a pinstripe of red there. And then I have a wider border of gold. And I did the red because my sentiment is foiled in red. And I thought that would be a nice nod to that, which is why I picked that. So we'll get that all glued down. And then looking at my sentiments, I did a red and a gold. And when you lay them on here, they kind of get lost. See that? So I just cut a strip of gold, and because I went with gold, I'm going to alternate and use the red because I use this red foil out here. So I'm going to go ahead and just attach that like that, and we will have our card complete. So we'll just use this fine tip here, and we'll just put some dots on here. Whoops. Just like that. Easy peasy. Center this on here. I love this size sentiment. Such a great size. Then I'm going to glue this across the center there. And put that right over that light bulb that we did not color. Check it out. And I did it just wide enough so the red border was not compromised. Yeah, so you could still see the red border all the way around. So we've got the gold and the gold, the red foil and the red foil, and of course the gold foil running through here. And there is your Glimmer of the month. I hope you've enjoyed this little tutorial and that you give it a try. I would love to see your projects from the club kits this month over in my group. My group is called Craft Life Together with Spellbinders and More. You're more than welcome to join, and I'd love to see you over there. I will talk to you next time, and maybe we'll craft life together. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.